When I was reading the book Crisis of Command, it seemed to me that he gets very hot-headed when people don't understand or see things as he sees them as a leader. A lot of his arguments were that the senior command, senior leadership, their need to be accountable, and they're not being held accountable in the same way. Long story short, was he breaking a bunch of laws to make his point?
He was. I mean, clearly he was. That's why they ended up putting him in pretrial confinement. I've got no issue with questioning leadership. I think leadership should be questioned. But there's a difference between questioning leadership and just going out and violating orders. And he knew that. And while he wanted to hold his leadership accountable, doing that by a social media post was absolutely, in my opinion, the wrong way to do that. If he felt so strongly about the Marine Corps and the failed leadership of the Marine Corps, he could have resigned his commission and then gone out and waged war on the Marine Corps or had his PR campaign. Doing that in uniform, it sets such a bad example, because you're going to have all of the junior Marines and the juniors or even non-commissioned officers. They say, well, if you're going to have an 05 calling out the senior leadership and not following orders, why should I follow orders? And orders, is, I hate to say it, but it is the military. You didn't join Google. You didn't join IBM or Tesla. You are in the Marine Corps. And for the Marine Corps or the Army or the Air Force to properly function, in particular in a wartime environment, we do have to have faith and confidence in the leadership and actually follow the orders that are given. You can absolutely question those, but to do those in such a public manner, I just don't think it was appropriate the way that was handled. And again, it wasn't even the first video that I had such an issue with. It was the second and third videos where he talks about how he wants to burn the system down. He starts naming other generals. And it became pretty apparent to me that these second and third videos, and a fourth one, became fairly self-serving as opposed to really trying to get this message across to hold these leaders accountable. So that was the issue I had. But I think he did break a lot of laws, and I don't think it was, I think what he did was very ill-advised.